Hey, bonjour, good morning there, Chippewas of Kelowna Stony Point First Nation members. Today is Friday, November the 6th, 2020. I'm doing a community update and a little check-in in regards to COVID-19. There currently are 6 active cases in Lambton County right now, no active cases in Kettle and Stony Point. As you may notice, I'm doing my update today from home. That's because I ended up having some symptoms of COVID-19 this week, some gastrointestinal symptoms, achy body, sore throat, congested nose, things like that. I did take a COVID-19 test on Monday, which did come back negative on Wednesday morning, but due to the fact that I still have symptoms, I'm following the protocols and I'm self-monitoring and I'm staying out of the public. That's part of the reason for the check-in today is that I did have some feedback from the health center that a number of people that are presenting there for COVID-19 tests that have symptoms come in and get tested and then are seen out in the community shortly after. That's concerning to the health center and to myself. I think it's appropriate that if you have symptoms that you isolate yourself, you stay home and keep out of the public and limit the spread. There was a bit of a fear earlier on this week. There was a contact of a contact of a contact that was in the community, and that put some fear through the community. But I think things have been resolved there so far, as no one's tested positive in those extended contacts there. But other than that, I just wanted to check in on that and make sure everybody is thinking about that and thinking about everybody else. My father-in-law said maybe a month or two ago to be kind to each other, to think about each other and be kind to each other. There's multiple ways we can take that, but one is if you think you may have COVID-19, stay home and stay safe. Don't spread it around. I don't think we're totally immune to this, or we're going to be without an outbreak here in the future. There's a high probability we'll have an outbreak if people keep carrying on the way that we have been. So just want to check in and remind us to not be complacent and to take the precautions, wear a mask, sanitize or wash your hands, keep that physical distancing in place, especially in particular with the elections going on. We're 1 week away from our election, and for off reserve members, now would be a good time to get those ballots back in the mail. They're due back at the band office by the 13th of November, by the close of the polls that day at 8 p.m. So make sure you get those sent in right away. And if you are feeling unwell, maybe it's better you seek an absentee ballot, a mail-in ballot, and you have that sent in the mail that way or dropped off at the band office so they can sanitize that ballot and just help limit the spread of COVID-19. I'd hate to have an uptake in that virus here due to the election, and that was part of the reason why council made the decision previously to postpone the election, was due to the COVID-19. So let's just keep everyone's health and safety in perspective and think about that. There's been quite a bit of talk out there, I guess, from what I hear on social media about the delay of the counting of the ballots. I think our electoral officer has a number of things to consider when she's making decisions around the election. The integrity of the vote is very important, but health and safety is paramount. I believe it's her estimate that if they were to stay with the counting of the ballots from the time they open the polls and begin setting up in the wee hours of the morning, 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning on the 13th, it would probably last about 24 hours for some of the staff. The probability of people making mistakes with that much time being there counting the ballots is pretty high. So I support the decision of our electoral officer and our electoral staff on delaying the counting of the ballots, and they've entrusted the safekeeping of those ballots to the police. And I don't challenge the integrity of that. I really have nothing to do with that at all. I'm quite a ways distance from the decision making around when they count the ballots, who counts the ballots, where they're counted, and where they're stored. So I fully support our electoral staff, and if there are any questions with the election, I'm sure that there's proper procedures that the electoral officer can share with you if you have any concerns about that. So that's my check-in for today. Off-reserve members, get your votes in. On-reserve members, if you suspect that you're not feeling well, or maybe you've been tested for COVID-19, mail in a ballot. Drop it off as an absentee ballot. Do what you can to help limit the spread here. Governance is highly important, but the health and safety and well-being of our community is the most important thing. That's my check-in for today, and I do my best to try and lead by example. I wasn't feeling well, so I I isolated myself, and hopefully by Monday I'll be feeling better. The symptoms will have subsided, and the test was negative, so I know I don't have COVID-19. But either way, if you're sick in any way, you should be not spreading that to your neighbors and community and family. So, Chimigwech for tuning in today. I'll have a message again next week. Chimigwech. Oh, and remember, it's okay to be something else.